Hello, 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 Ravens Escapees. I'm Sue, and this is Ravens Escapes Crafts. If you're new here, welcome, welcome, welcome. If you've been here before, welcome back. So my son wanted me to make a sun hat. You saw it yesterday if you watched the video, out of this crazy neon yarn. So I finished it. Now it is 56 degrees here in Pennsylvania, and it is also raining and it is miserable. So I am going to wear my sunglasses and pretend I'm at the beach, and it is nice and sunny outside and I'm enjoying the weather. So I hope you do too. So what do you guys think? Do you like the hat? I love the curl. I made it curled a little bit because I like that look, that little bit of curled. But do you think I should add a band? Do you think it needs a band on it? Or just like a sun hat like this? I think I'm going to make a second one and try putting a band on it. I like the way this one turned out. I did not use a pattern, so I kind of just freehanded this. But I like it, and I love the colors. I absolutely love the colors. So what do you guys think? Yeah, like I said, I think I have a ton more of this yarn. I bought like a ton of it. I was actually going to make a hexie-cardi out of it, but I don't think, I don't know. I think a hexie-cardi would be way too busy for this. I mean, this yarn would be way too busy for a hexie-cardi, so I don't know that I'm going to do that. So I can make all sorts of fun stuff with it. So this will be available today on my Etsy shop. There'll be a link down below. I think it's a super fun hat. And like I said, it's not very heavy. It's really lightweight. As you can see, it's, real bendable, so it'll fit just about any head. Don't mind I just washed my hair, so don't mind my wet head. And you can also, of course, like put it up if you want to see. It looks kind of fun. But if you want to cover, it'll definitely cover your face. It's got a big enough brim on it. But if you want it to look cute, you can. So, what are you guys doing on our beach day? Since we're pretending that it's not 56 degrees on May 28th. And that it's actually sunny and nice and beautiful out. And we're out enjoying the sun. We don't have to be on the beach. You could be in your backyard. We could be sitting on a patio somewhere drinking Mai Tais, or having mojitos, or, I mean, it's a little early for that here, but we could maybe have a mimosa, or just like a sparkling drink if we don't drink alcohol. That'd be fine too. Maybe espresso martini. Oh, that would be lovely, wouldn't it? Sitting on the beach, getting our sun, get a little tan. Or not, because it's not good for you. Not good for you. So we're wearing all of our sunscreen. And we have an umbrella, but we're still enjoying the beach. Even though I really want to put a sweater back on because I'm freezing. All right, so how are you all doing this fine Wednesday? I'm excited. My son is in New York City today. He is going to see his very first Broadway show. He's going to see Moulin Rouge. I'm super excited for him. It's a treat for only a certain kids at his school that are, like, he's in jazz band, and they've done like a lot of extra performances on the weekends and stuff like that for different events. So they earned anybody who did all the extra practices, because jazz band is not like regular band and marching band are a during school program, but jazz band is after school, and so they do it on their own time. So as a treat, they got to, anybody who participated, came to practices, went to the performances, got to go to New York City along with some of the kids who were in the musical. So at school this year. So I'm super excited for him. He's never been to New York before. Of course, it's a little drizzly and rainy and stuff, which is yucky, but Still, he's never been to the city, so we don't really go. I mean, we're only an hour and a half from New York City, and I haven't been there since I was a kid. We just don't go. We just not. I don't know. It's weird here in Pennsylvania. You live in the like more rural. Well, I mean, and I don't even live in the more rural parts. That's the worst part. I live in a fairly decent size area, to be honest with you. We're about an hour north of Philly, in a fairly populated area, but we don't really go. Like, we don't go to Philly. We don't go to New York. No, we don't really go those places. A lot of people from around here do. I don't love traveling. I don't love it, so we don't really go. Oh my god, I love this hat more and more as I'm looking at it. It's really cute. So if you want the hat, like I said, I'm going to make more. It'll be available on my Etsy shop today. So that's exciting. So I'm excited to hear how he liked New York City. I'm excited how he liked his first Broadway show. He's never been to a musical either. So I'm excited to hear how he likes going to his very first musical. I'm glad he gets to go see a really good production of a musical for the first time. You know, it's one of those things where, like, I love musicals, and my husband, you know, he can take or leave a musical. And, of course, I always was hesitant to take kids because unless you're into musicals, it could be a very long sitting there if they are not into it. So, and he just, in middle school, he sort of started to talk about wanting to be in, like, one of his teachers encouraged him to try to acting. And so he sort of was considering it, but he never actually, like, did it. He never went out for the play. And I don't force my kids into it, you know, like, I encouraged him. I'm like, you know, if it's something you're interested in, hey, think about it, because you know, it's something really fun to do. And, you know, he was a little hesitant, and I try, you know, I said, well, like, just go out for it. And he didn't. Well, now this year he took a theater arts class and loved it. Absolutely loved it. So I think next year we might be going to the musical at school. I hope so. Like I said, I will not force him to do it. I will not force him into anything that he doesn't want to do, because that's just going to make him not want to do it. But I think it's a good way to, personally, I think it's a really good way to be more comfortable talking in front of people. And I am terrible with that. I don't love talking in front of people at all. And I was very shy. Actually, like, I was really shy as a kid. And to be honest with you, it took me, I had to, like, force myself to be more open and outgoing. It's been a multi-step process over my lifetime. And, you know, I finally but when I was younger, I was very shy. My mother is not great talking to people. And I was very uncomfortable talking in front of people. And you know, it took me so long to get comfortable with that. And I mean, I'm still not comfortable talking in front of people. You know, I'll be quite honest. Like, a group of people, a small group is fine, but like a lot of people, and I would love to have him not have that as much. You know what I mean? Especially, he would, at this point at least, he's in 9th grade. He wants to become some sort of a scientist. He is very much into math and science, and his goal is he's not sure which science he wants to major in at this point, but he would like to get into some sort of science, become sort of involved in research projects and things like that, which would be absolutely amazing. I think he would absolutely love that. He's really good with that kind of stuff. And, but I keep telling him, you know, if you want to become a really renowned scientist, you're going to have to learn how to you know, like he doesn't like love English class. And I'm like, but you're going to have to learn how to write papers because what, you know, that's how scientists get recognized. They publish papers. And I also said, too, you know, you're going to have to get comfortable talking in front of people because if you become a famous scientist, and I'm not saying, I mean, he's my son, so obviously I think he's going to become like, you know, Nobel Prize worthy. But is that the reality? I don't really care. So he's my son, and I think he can do anything he wants to do and be successful at it. So I said, but if you become a really well-known scientist, you're going to have to do talks and speeches and go in front of people a lot. So something like this, you know, obviously already jazz band and band is getting him in front of people more, making him more comfortable. But I think doing something like the musical would be like the best thing, you know. I mean, if you can go out there and sing and dance in front of people, you can talk in front of people. Do you know what I'm saying? You know, if you can sing and dance in front of people, you got it covered. So, all right, enough on that. You guys are here for the crochet, not for my stories about my son. So, what am I working on now that I finished my hat yesterday? I started this caplet. Now, again, I don't have a pattern for this. Hold on, let me pause this a second. All right, I paused the video because I was trying to pull out this project. And what happened? My crochet hook got stuck in my hat. Seriously. So, as I was saying, I'm starting working on a caplet for, I figure this would be pretty for like Ren Fair and stuff. So, oops, if I can get it over my head. So it'll start up here, and then it's going to come down. And I thought this would be cute for like Ren Fair. If I can, oh my goodness. Okay, now I got yarn everywhere. The dangers of being a crocheter. Being one day taken out by your own yarn. I think that's, if I had to assume what's going to happen to me one day, I'm going to either trip and fall or choke to death on one of my yarn. So, I'm not doing, I don't have a pattern at this point. And I'm doing, I don't know. I'm just going to kind of wing it, put some different kinds of stitches in it. See what works, see what doesn't work. And that's something I wanted to talk about. Like so I'm like a ton of like Facebook and stuff. And like I said, I watch a lot of YouTube for crochet and stuff like that. And there's like, it seems like there's the people who only work off of patterns, and then there's people who like only like diagrams, and then there's people who like both. And then there's like a whole nother group of us that like don't use patterns or diagrams at all, and we freehand everything. And now and then of course there's people who like video tutorials. Now I will say I will fall in that category. I don't know how to read patterns, and I don't, okay, again, I think I talked about this in another video. I do know how to read patterns. I know how to read them, but my brain does not like reading them. My brain is, hold on, let me take these glasses off so I can actually see you guys. My brain is not, it doesn't like instructions like that. I mean, I'm not great with any kind of instruction, like written instructions like that. I never was. I'm much more of a visual learner. So when I see a pattern written out, it just, my brain's like, too much. It's going to be too hard. And I get myself all messed up. Not to say that I couldn't learn how to read patterns better. In fact, I'm tempted. Creative Grandma just put out a packet on her website, creativegrandma.net, and it's free, on how to read crochet patterns, because she was saying like so many people say they don't know how to read them. I'm tempted to download it and print it out and read through it and see if it helps me and my pattern anxiety. But I don't know, you know. I'm gonna flip this back up because I love it like this. So I don't know. I might do that. It's cute like this. And then, and then the diagrams, they don't help me at all because I don't know. I guess I need to sit down and like take some time and figure them out better. I just don't love them either. But I will learn through like a YouTube tutorial. That's my easiest way to learn. Sit and watch somebody else do it, and then I can do it. But I really like freehanding things, and so that's what I kind of wanted to talk about today, like freehanding. Like I freehanded this hat. So basically, anybody who is scared of freehanding, okay, you can do it. All right. And I know you're going to say, no, you know, I need a pattern. I can't do that. But the fact of the matter is, now, if you've never made a hat before, don't try to freehand a hat. Okay. But I'm going to say a lot of people anybody who's made some crochet stuff, wearables and things, how many hats have you made? How many beanies have you made? Probably a ton. You know, obviously, there's so many cool beanie patterns out there, and there's tons of them, and they're easy. I don't want to say easy to make. Some of them are not easy to make. Some of them are very complicated and look really cool, but there's a lot of, like, you know, easy beanie patterns out there. Super simple, one row repeat, you know, just increasing the top. There's top up, there's top down. So if you want to learn to freehand and be like confident in it, this is just my advice. Like, say you want to make a hat. If you've never made hats, go use your patterns, your tutorials, your diagrams, however. Learn to make hats. Okay, make a bunch of hats. Because once you understand the mechanics of how to make a hat, you can then switch it up on your own, you know. Like I like to do a lot of my hats are top down. And so you start at the top with, you know, obviously you can use a magic circle. I'm not a magic circle kind of gal. I think I've seen them fail too many times, way too many times, and ruin everybody's project. I am a chain 4, chain 6, depending on your project, and just crochet and slip stitch crochet into that. I know people say, oh, that's not right. You got to do a magic circle, but it works fine for me. I love it. I can get it tight enough. I mean, again, you know, this is the top of my hat. There's no hole. I mean, obviously this is crazy yarn, but, you know, there's no hole. So I don't see why a magic circle is necessary. I still have to sew on my end. Oops. You didn't see that. So, back to that. And of course, you know, then you understand most hats, like beanie hats, like that are form-fitting to your head. You know, you start out with, you know, you do whatever, 12 of whatever stitch, and then the next one is you do 2 in each, and then you do 2 and 1, 2 and 1, 2 and 1, and then 3 and 1, 3 and 1, 3 and 1. If you've made hats, you know. So you understand the basics. If you've made hats, you understand how the mechanics of a hat work. So then you really just take and use that knowledge and mess around with the stitches, you know. Do different kinds of, you know, you can do different kinds of stitches. There's all kinds of cool stitches out there. You know, stitch patterns like, you know, like moss stitch, alpine stitch, you know, I don't know. There's so many stitches. I have no idea. you know, throwing baubles in there, throwing popcorns in there, throwing V-stitches in it. You know, you can do what you want. And, you know, like I said, but you have to understand the mechanics. Now, that being said, and again, like I do a lot of, like, these are freehand. All my hoods and stuff are freehand. I, now, caveat, I'm just going to say, if you're someone who is not okay with frogging, freehand might not be for you. Because the problem with freehand is no matter how much you understand how the mechanics of crochet work, it's not always going to work out like you thought it was. You know, so I can't tell you how many times I'm like, oh, you know, well, I'm just gonna like for example, I made this hood with like a shoulder cape. I have it. I'll have to show that. I'll have to pull that one out and show it to you guys one day. And I thought those were like really cool because, you know, those are super, 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 super popular in like Renaissance wear. Everybody wears like the hood with the cap, you know, just goes down here, men and women. It's very like archer, fighter, you know, type look. And I made that freehand. And of course the hood, I've made tons of hoods. I know how hoods work, so I can mess with hoods all day long. But I had never made like the cape part of it. So I'm like, well, how hard could it be? You know, you just start adding, you know, you need to obviously make it bigger so that it goes down over your shoulder. How hard could it be? So I get like so far along and realize like I got 2 points that are sticking like in the middle instead of course, you want it to lay more flat. Or so like when it's closed, it's like together, you know what I mean? Like so that when it lays here, it's like straight down. Well, no, I had points that were crossing. It would look terrible. So of course I'm like, oh, I know what I did wrong. Hold on. All right, sorry, I got a phone call. I think I don't remember what I was saying. But I think what I was saying was, you know, so once I was talking about this hood I made. So obviously I had to frog it all the way back to the hood, and then I understood that I was adding too much in the front. I just needed to add to the sides and the back, and I had to figure out how to make it straight, you know. So, you know, if you are wanting to freehand, you can do it. I see people all the time like, oh my God, you need to write a pattern out. And the hard part for us is, at least me, is I don't know how to write a pattern out. I can write my own little freehand, but to actually write one out for you to understand it completely, I don't know that I could do that. You know, so, but I can show you guys, I'll show you guys some of the stuff, some tips and tricks along the way. I have some I wanted to show. I think I want to do a tutorial on how to put buttons on, without like little buttons, not big buttons. Big buttons are easy because you can just use yarn, but smaller buttons you actually have to sew on. So I would like to do a tutorial for you guys on that because I know a lot of people don't know how to do that. And like something like this, like I'm just, you know, I'm working on it and hoping that it turns out, and then if I'll keep trying it on. I mean, that's kind of what you have to do, is keep trying it on and seeing if it's, or if you have a mannequin, obviously that would make life easier. I do not have a mannequin at this point. I would love to get one at some point so I could do some smaller sizes. I tend to do larger sizes because I'm a double X to a 3X depending. My kids are both extra larges, and my husband's a large, but he's a guy with a big chest, so like a big barrel chest. So trying to see what it would look like on somebody like for a small or a medium or a woman's, even like a woman's large. I don't have any references in the house, so I'm kind of a shot in the dark, and I could not tell you the last time I was a size large. That was probably in high school. I've always been, somewhat of a, I mean, I'm almost 6 foot tall. So, I've always been somewhat of a larger girl. So I don't even know. I don't even have like a large shirt for reference to to go off of. So at some point I need to get a mannequin so I can make some smaller sizes. But I know there is a big market for us plus size girls, and there are not as many designers and makers that do plus size, which it sucks because, you know, we want to wear the pretty cool things too, and they just aren't available necessarily in our size, which sucks. So I try to, sometimes I think like, oh, I want to make smaller sizes, and then I'm like, well, I know there's plenty of us out there that are not a size 5 or a 2 or not that there's anything wrong with that. I'm just saying there's a lot more availability if you wear a smaller size for a lot of the prettier outfits. What am I doing here? I don't know. Oh, it's you. Okay. There's a lot more availability out there if you do wear a smaller size for really cute outfits. And so I probably will still do a lot of more plus size things. And then of course my hoods and caps and of course hoods, hats, things like this caplet, they're not going to be they can pretty much be worn by anybody unless you're really, really tiny. That it would fall off, because it's going to be it's not going to be super loose on me, so it should be good for just about any size. Like I said, again, one of these days I got to get myself an actual mannequin so I can size things a little bit more properly. But for now, I have my models at home that I use, and I'm like, here, let me put this on you. Let's see what it looks like. So if you're making stuff, again, if you're freehanding and you're making it for you, I mean, that's the easiest way to handle it, is to, every time you get to a spot, just put it on and, keep trying it on and saying like, oh, no, that's not working. Or, do I need to bring it in? Do I need to let it out? You can make, and that's the really cool part about freehand is you can make super customizable pieces just for you. You can make pieces that are super fit for any body type. Because Lord knows, I mean, even when it comes to the sizing, we're all different. Some of us have bigger shoulders. Some of us have really narrow shoulders. I know a lot of people, some people have larger arms. Some people have skinnier arms. Boob size, it doesn't matter what size you are. Some of us are endowed. Some of us are not. Some of us are in the middle. And that makes a huge difference on how a top fits. If you're very busty, it is a real problem for people to find clothing that fits them, that doesn't look super, like loose everywhere else. And that's the really cool part, is that you can, and in the same sense, I can say as a larger woman with not big bazungas, breasts, let's just call it breasts. So as a woman with not humongous breasts, as a larger woman, a lot of the more fitted tops for larger women don't fit me because they have a lot more fabric up top that I can't fill. The girls ain't that big, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm a comfortable C cup, which is, fine. I mean, it's plenty of boob. But, a lot of larger girls go well into the D's, double, triple, quadruple D's and above. And so, of course, they try to make tops like that. Most more people can wear. But again, I mean, that's the beauty of making your own top for yourself or your own clothing for yourself, is that you can customize them to fit your body type, you know, because there's so many body types out there. And again, like, you know, when you come to tops, you know, there's some people have very tiny waists, some people have a bigger waist and then their hips aren't big. Some people have a thin waist and then their hips are you know, and lower region are much bigger. So you want something that would flare out a little more. Where if you're, you know, but then again, there's a lot of us who have a bigger front stomach, and so we want the room here, but don't need it at the hips, you know, and then it like flares out, and then that looks, I mean, because like, oh my God, you know, I mean, and I know all women deal with this, no matter what size you are, but like trying to buy pants, I don't think I've worn a pair of actual long pants in, oh God, probably almost 10 years or more. Because I just got tired of it. Let's just tell a little story. I spent my entire life fighting with pants. And I've never found pants that were totally comfortable. Ever in my entire life. Like, I'm a tall girl. So I have long legs. So, I mean, I have to be really, 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 really careful as to what I buy as far as length of pants, because so many pants are way too short on me, you know? And again, I know a lot of people in my life who have the exact opposite problem, who they're short and every pair of pants they buy is too long. Now, and I'm not saying this is, but at least if your pants are too long and you're a little bit sewy, you can hem them. I can't add fabric to the bottom of mine, so I just have short pants all the time. And even like, so you have to find a place that they sell long length or tall or whatever. Okay, well now you're limited. And again, like I said, I know people who are short have the exact opposite problem. I feel you. It's all the same problem as far as I'm concerned. And then having them fit at the waist is a whole nother problem, because they're cut some weird, you know, so many pants are cut weird. Like they're either, you know, too short at the waist, too long at the waist. Everybody's got a different body type, and I understand that that's the problem. But like, I spent so much time in my life trying to find pants that I liked. Like when I worked in an office, I wore a lot of slacks. And, I mean, I don't think I ever had that I was comfortable all day in pair of dress slacks in my entire friggin' 17-year in office career. They just were not comfortable. They were, either made me look even fatter, or they either like cut to up the girls section, you know, or they didn't fit around the waist. The waist was too big. The belly part was too tight. I mean, there was just so many things that I tried so many brands of pants, desperate to find something that like actually fit that I liked. And I never found a pair of pants that I really liked. So many years ago at this point, I switched over to skirts and skirts and shorts. And then I don't have to worry about the length. So then I only have to worry about the top area. You know, because again, like I would buy these slacks and then I would have to wear boots with them because they would be way too short and they looked stupid, and I couldn't, it was just so frustrating. And I know so many women that go through the same thing. And again, like I never had like a ton of money to, you know, people say, well, you just buy it and go get it tailored, you know. Well, I mean, I never had the kind of money for these super expensive wardrobe. And then on top of it, I'm working in an office where you need to constantly be buying new clothes because if you're wearing the same thing all the time, people are going to talk. So, you're buying new clothes. I mean, not all the time, but you know what I'm saying. You can't just wear the same 5 pairs of slacks or, you got to have, or the same 5 tops every week. Or people are like, oh, God, what is she, doesn't she have anything else? So you're constantly trying to, freshen up your wardrobe and have variety to wear. And I mean, and so, and then of course I didn't make like a ton of money. So I'm buying reasonable price clothes and I'm not going to buy a $10 shirt and spend $25 getting it tailored. You know what I'm saying? And again, I'm not going to buy a, $15 pair of pants and spend another $25 getting them tailored. It didn't, and those clothes don't last anyway, So the beauty of making your own stuff is that you can fit it exactly to what you are comfortable in. So that's why I encourage people to freehand, even if it's, even if you're using a tutorial or a pattern, and to not use it as gospel, to, look at it and say, well, like try it on and go, this just isn't fitting me the way I like. Instead of saying, well, oh, this just isn't a pattern for me, or this isn't a tutorial for me, add a few rows or take few rows in, or, like add some decreased rows or increased rows instead of just a straight row or something like that. Learn how the mechanics of crochet work, and then you can custom tailor even like a lot of these tutorials, because again, like I love that there's so much inclusivity now where they are doing like from extra small to 5X, which I love that they're doing that. But again, my 2X or 3X and your 2X and 3X, or your large and somebody else's large, that doesn't fit the same on two different people. So I encourage everybody to try to learn a little bit of freehanding, and it will change your crochet world when it comes to wearables. It will make it so that you get the confidence to make these pieces not only gorgeous, but to fit you. And it's like having a custom tailored outfit every time. And not only that, you made it. So that is my motivational while we're sitting on the beach today, enjoying the sun and our 56-degree drizzle weather. Yeah, that is my encouraging talk for you today. I hope you enjoyed it. All right, I should really get going. I have like a million other things to do today. But I enjoy my time with you every day. I hope you guys enjoy your time with me. I hope you get something out of it. I hope, again, if you guys have any questions, anything you would like me to talk about, any kind of explanation on how if you guys are interested, I can go through how I freehand a piece, and do like a tutorial on that. Or if you have any other questions on other things with crochet, and again, let me know. Should I make another one of these and put a band on it, like a solid colored band, and see if it looks cute? All right. I hope so. I'm going to get going. So I appreciate each and every one of you. I hope you have an absolutely wonderful day, regardless of the weather and this crazy weather in May, almost June. I hope you do something nice for yourself today. I hope you enjoy something today. I hope something makes you smile today. And I hope you just have a great rest of your day. And I will see you tomorrow. Thank you so much for watching, and choose love every day.